Wheatgrass is extremely easy to grow. It is loaded with vitamins and minerals unlike anything else and has some very interesting health benefits that you may not know about. Let's look at growing wheatgrass and how you can supplement it in your diet for a healthy life. So one of my friends gifted me this container. This is made of natural cedar wood and this is great for growing herbs and microgreens like wheatgrass. For the potting mix, we are mixing coco coir. And you might have seen my videos on coco coir. It's very easy to just take a brick and then it expands, giving you some really good coco coir. And we're going to be first lining up this container with a lot of coco coir. And then we're going to add some compost. Now this is the compost that I usually use for all my potting mixes. This is composted horse manure. And just a mix of compost and coco coir is enough to give you a good potting mix. Here is the seed packet that we're going to be using for our wheatgrass seeds. And this is a great quality wheatgrass seed packet. And all we're going to do is sprinkle the wheatgrass seeds on top of the potting mix that we just created, as you can see here. Now you don't want to crowd your seeds in one place, but rather spread it out as much as you can. And finally, we're going to be using some more compost to just cover the seeds. Now, the reason we cover the seeds is that they do not fly away and birds do not pick them out from the soil. Once the seeds have been sowed, all you need to do is make sure you have enough moisture for the seeds to germinate. And we're going to be just using some water to moisten the soil and we're good to go. In about 7 days from sowing the seeds, you can see that the wheatgrass seeds have germinated. And let me just explain you what wheatgrass is. Wheatgrass is the baby wheat plant. You can call it a baby wheat plant that hasn't produced wheat yet. And it has all the goodness of wheat without the gluten. So this is a pretty amazing microgreen you can grow at your home. It's extremely easy to grow. And during the first few days of germination, make sure that you keep your seedlings watered very well. I'm just keeping this container near a window which will get plenty of light and it's enough for these seeds to germinate and grow. In about 15 days after sowing the seeds, you can start harvesting your wheatgrass. Now you can let it grow even taller. It will be quite some time before these plants mature, so you can let them grow taller, but I'm going to start harvesting my wheatgrass greens at this stage, and these are loaded with vitamins and minerals. Wheatgrass has a lot of health benefits which I will soon explain. And the first method to harvest the wheatgrass greens is to just pull them out. Now the wheatgrass has a very strong root system, and you can see that I'm literally breaking these grass seedlings. The wheat germ can also be seen here, and to make the process easier, you can just add some water, loosen up the soil, and then you can easily pull out these wheatgrass seedlings. Now this is one way to harvest it. The downside of this kind of a harvest is that you lose the plant itself. You just take the top part of the wheatgrass and then use it as you normally would. But let me show you the second way of harvesting it, which I found better. And that is to just use some scissors and clip the top part of the wheatgrass. Now the edible portion of this wheatgrass are the greens. And this is what you need to harvest. Now the wheatgrass looks just like any other grass that grows around you. However, it is very unique in the sense that it has a very high chlorophyll content, which is very beneficial for you. And it is also loaded with vitamins and minerals. It also has antioxidant properties, so overall it's extremely good for your health. Wheatgrass also lets your body relieve itself of toxins. It can even counter mutagenic cells, cells that mutate, cells like cancer cells, for example, which wreak havoc on your body. So wheatgrass has a lot of health benefits and is something that I highly recommend that you start consuming at least on a weekly basis. If you can consume it daily, that's even better. But at least on a weekly basis, it's better to use wheatgrass to cleanse your body of toxins and improve your overall health. And as you can see here, we are harvesting all these wheatgrass greens, and this is the only part of the wheatgrass that you will be using. So what is wheatgrass? Wheatgrass is nothing but a baby wheat plant that produces these greens that you can consume. They are loaded with vitamins and minerals, and they have great health benefits. They help improve the function of your organs and play a very important role in your overall health. And as you can see here, this is the harvest, our wheatgrass greens harvest. And what we are going to be doing with this wheatgrass is we used a Blendtec blender to crush the wheatgrass. We added some carrots, water, some ice and wheatgrass to create this delicious wheatgrass smoothie. Now this smoothie has a lot of benefits of the wheatgrass. It has all the fiber, it has all the nutrients. The blender should be powerful enough to crush the grass clippings or the grass leaves to create a juice, as you can see here, and the Blendtec does a great job. Now once you've harvested your wheatgrass, the plants are still there. The plants and the roots are still there. So all you do is water the plant well, and once you water the plant and leave it out in the same location, a nice sunny location, you can see that the wheatgrass plant will regrow, and then you can continue your harvest for a second time. And about 20 days from the time you sowed your seeds, we can now have a second round of harvest. You can see that the wheatgrass has grown back. The plant has produced more grass blades, and these can be harvested again. So for the second harvest, we're going to be using the same technique. We're going to use some scissors and then clip the top part of the wheatgrass. And we are growing our wheatgrass in potting soil or real soil. And I don't recommend growing wheatgrass using other techniques like hydroponics or soilless mixes or like fiber or anything else. And the reason is that when you grow in soil, the wheatgrass has excellent roots to absorb all the nutrients from the soil, and all these nutrients from the soil in turn gets into the wheatgrass, and then eventually when you consume it, it gets into your body. So by growing wheatgrass in the soil, you can expect some useful elements from the soil to be absorbed. Things like selenium, for example, which is only found in soil, will be absorbed by the wheatgrass when you grow it in soil. And this is how our harvest looks like. Once again, very fresh, delicious and organic wheatgrass greens that pack a punch. And once again, you can leave the wheatgrass as it is and it will grow more greens in no time. So there we have it, folks. That was our episode on growing wheatgrass greens. It's super easy to grow. And if you grow wheatgrass greens at home, do let us know in the comments box below. And do let us know how you use your wheatgrass greens. We'll see you again soon. Happy gardening.